topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Are you ready to take a journey? Let's connect with the healers of the world. It's that time. It's time for the Language of Healing on W4WN Radio and Talk 4 TV. Now here's your host, Dr. Nicole Fortin.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode on the Language of Healing here on W4WN.com. And Happy New Year. We're now in 2026. Officially, it's happened. My guest and I, for today, we were just talking about how freezing it's been here, but also how beautiful. We've got this thing called hoarfrost, where the trees become all crystally with ice and snow, and with all of the lights from the season, like the holiday lights wrapped around trees in people's homes. It's so pretty, and it's also so cold. So. But we've overcome that hurdle of the darkest day of the year. Here we come, emerging the light. And today we're talking about our light bodies, some plasma consciousness, and some revolutionary work from our guest, Rita Cumming. Let's just invite her on and give her a big welcome. Hello. Thanks for joining us again. I just love having you on and love having conversations with you because you have such an expanded view of energy, like the healing connection between our physical and energetic bodies. And, you present it in a very well thought out, grounded way. And being an educator yourself, you've got lots of experience in sharing your wisdom and knowledge experience. So thanks for coming and joining us again.
And thanks. I love interacting with you. We always have fun on this topic.
Yeah.
And there's such a vast amount of information that one has to, not just myself, anybody in this has to really reflect, because there's so many places you draw on, and somehow you have to be able to bring it together. So it does make some sense.
Yeah.
Because some of these foundation. It's a foundation of all of it.
Right. Because it is so innate, in us, but it's also not so concrete or tangible. It's hard to put words to it or describe, this energy that surrounds us and is us, within us, how we interact with, the microcosm to the macrocosm.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a deep principle of Chinese medicine and a lot of healing modalities that we're not separate from those things. So how can we bring it together and use it to our advantage, have better health, and prosper in life?
And also I'd like to add that's one of the reasons I encourage multiple modalities, because here you're an acupuncturist, I'm a polarity practitioner and craniosacral therapist, and we both are based in an energy-based systems.
Yeah,
they are not the same. They each bring something, and they each don't have something that the others offer. And so by doing multiple modalities, we tap into those things that are outside of our primary ones, and the person benefits with the more complete.
Definitely. It's like the longitudes of the globe, they like from South Pole to North Pole. There's so many different channels, but they're all joining at certain points. So in a way it kind of makes sense to have a balance, open view of different modalities, because if you're just on one pathway, there's benefit to balancing it out with maybe something from this side and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, you know what else is really interesting, Rita, that we're joining today? It's January 6th, and you were sharing with me the significance or that this is a bit of an auspicious day. dive into that? Share a little bit about that.
Well, it was amazing when, I mean, we're talking January 6th, which is Epiphany, when the wise people came to see baby Jesus. But then and we always put it, everybody puts it at Christmas because it just makes the thing more celebratory.
Right.
But also, Epiphany isn't just a Christian thing. It is a time when so much more becomes apparent. It's an expanded time of awarenesses and I'm going to say gifts on another level to all of us. And then on top of that, it turns out, what is it, the year of the horse?
Coming into, I believe that it's February 17th that we transition that lunar calendar from the year of the snake, the wood snake, into the fire horse. So we still have a bit more time to shed and transform and then rebirth and, emerge, gallop into something great. Mm-hmm.
And yet the bulk of the year is going to have all of it.
Right. Yeah.
The bulk of the year.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a year of profound change.
For profound change. Yeah.
Worldwide. On many, many, many levels.
On which levels?
Well, I'm thinking politically for one thing.
Yes.
And in order for us to go forward, we're going to have to draw on, we're going to have to stay grounded, centered, and elevated. We can't go digging holes, and we can't become space cadets. We can't be busy projecting out here, there, and everywhere, which may not be valid, or we have a right to do. So basically, we have to stay grounded and centered and elevated to function what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
As individuals, as individual people.
Yeah, and I think a big part of this past year has been, a lot of things are confronting, like have been brought to the surface. Literally, if you think about that snake shedding energy, it's like everything comes up and then can be released. So it's been a bit difficult. I've had experience and just speaking with other people or in my practice, the things that we've had to confront. But that's where you get, the illumination from it. If you shed light on it, then it's not in the shadows or not hidden deep within. And I believe that's how we can stay more grounded, centered, and elevate ourselves.
And there's new energies coming in. They're finding new beings. They're finding new life forms and arising in the ocean, as one example.
Oh, the ocean. Is that what you said?
Yes, and there's a new gut organism that I have just recently read about.
Oh.
And it's been referred to as possibly a new life form.
Okay.
So there's more and more coming all the time. And it's great. It's coming from many different levels. And I just had a flash now. I think it was the 24th, I believe, of December, or the 22nd. I saw it on the morning newscast of CTV. And there was a purple mist over the community of Delta, just outside Vancouver. It was purple. And the population saw it.
Oh, that gives me goosebumps, actually. It's kind of cool.
They were in awe. It was interesting. I made a note of it. They were in awe. They were inspired. So the new is coming in despite everything else breaking down and us having to process all this stuff, running into our various fears, etc. By staying grounded and centered. And as Ursula, one of my instructors many years ago, said, elevated. She'd been working on me and during and after the session, because when I went to New Mexico, I always booked a session with her. She taught me in 1992 when I last had a session, I think about 1918 or 2018, because each time. And at the end, I said, I feel grounded, I feel centered. And she said, and elevated.
And what? Sorry, I missed that there.
Elevated.
Oh, elevated. Yes.
And anyway, it's interesting floating into this. And I was about to send a Christmas greeting. I know she wasn't a Christian, she was spiritual, but I always send touch base with her. And I thought, gee, I'm going to check the internet before I make this. And I found her obituary.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So I was surprised. And I'd been thinking about her when I was going out for Christmas dinner somewhere. And Ursula was here on the left-hand side of my head, and she was happy as a dickens.
Mm.
And so I was happy for her. I was anyway.
Yes.
I was happy for her transition.
Yes.
Profound healing.
Mm-hmm. Lots of transitions, you know, some that have chosen to move on and upwards, and some of still doing the work, you know. Yeah.
And I have visibly, because of the nature of what I do, I work with the blue bars. They teachers' guides, protectors. I have seen during the war in Gaza, where I've seen entities rising. They're leaving. The first time I encountered it was actually at writing on stone where entities ancient and those from antiquity had been reawakened and were rising up and leaving finally.
So this is our topic for today around well, last time you were on, you shared you know, the story of your friend, someone you personally knew in physicality realm, who had passed, and a photo of her after she had, you know, elevated and passed on from this physical realm, and standing there. So it was Willi's life body, and you shared a bit of the story. Now we're going to dive into a little bit more of this, what these blue bars are, and the writing on stone. Should we just pop a little photo here, so, you know, regroup what we're talking about?
I was going to say, before we do that, do you mind my interjection?
Yes.
To go back to Willi in that image.
Yes.
Are you comfortable with that?
Oh yes, go ahead. Yeah, let's just pop it up on the screen. Juan, if you could we'll talk Willi's light body.
Hey, and I'm coming to the conclusion. Okay, firstly, for anybody who wasn't there, this photo was taken outside of the Vatican by her sister. It was taken on a single lens reflex camera. And much to her surprise, she has the image of her sister outside the Vatican with the physical bodies of other people showing in the picture as well. And so I cropped it down, and lo and behold, I got this much clearer image of her. And if you look carefully, you see the swirling energy around her. Mm-hmm. And it would appear to be a torus or a donut. And Jill Peirce, I don't know if people are familiar with her, or I know her as an overtone chanter. I did a workshop with her one time. She is a Buddhist. She does workshops in Britain and here in BC, or in British Columbia in Canada. And the book is The Mystic Spiral, and she talks about the universe and man's consciousness. The macrocosm and microcosm consist of a continuum and a dynamic whole, expressed by the spiral, when instead of ending, it drawn either around the sphere so that it joins with itself by spiraling through its own middle. This symbol, which is perpetually turning on itself, expanding and contracting, has interchangeable center and circumference, is neither beginning nor end. It'll be referred to as a spherical vortex by her. I call it a donut, or in the torus, and it keeps reappearing in the blue bars. And I personally have found, again, it's continuously happening with me. I find that if I'm running currents up and down, the back side to side and the back and forth, if they are happening concurrently, I find the donut is beginning to happen spontaneously. But
Yeah.
it takes the three of them happening at the same time for this to begin to happen. I have found, I'm not talking from reading or research, I'm talking about experiential.
Right. And if they're not working in unison, then is that when, flow stops?
No, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure because I've started finding these currents would start spontaneously, but I usually found it was side to side, which is very settling mentally. And then I found up and down, feet ahead, the grounding. And I came to the conclusion it's also grounding of higher energies. It's bringing higher energies into physicality.
Amazing.
And the back and forth, the vitality that we talk about in the spiral energies. So I was individually using them as they had started to happen a bit spontaneously. And this, I think, was yesterday or this morning, this started to happen in unison. And then I began to find the current spiral.
And that's to me like evolution. You know how we're even in the universe, we're spinning, but we're also, ascending, and yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I know it is very cool. And I find it is the way this whole spiraling part is, or spinning part is new, the donut part for me, that it's happening. But no, I don't know where it was going.
Well, this image is incredible, and like you said, from the 90s, and unedited.
And one more thing, and then we can flip. I believe the white portion of her body is the plasma body.
Oh, okay.
I've often said it's the energy body. We see the energy. I think I was wrong. Because the etheric body is seen as a bluish tone.
Okay.
And I believe that beneath this, or built into it, is the etheric body. The etheric body is it's an aspect of the plasma body. The etheric being the closer, it's the one that interfaces with the physical, and it's through those energy centers, the chakras, that interface takes place. But also in other reading is that plasma apparently is throughout our whole body.
Okay. Plasma is I've heard this term before, and there's lots of research around that. We'll dive into that shortly. Pause, note. Okay, do we want to see the expanded, like the picture of the full image? Maybe just for a little contrast?
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
The Vatican image.
Yeah, just pop up that image of the Vatican. Yes, thank you, Juan. Yeah, and then you can see her just at the bottom there. That's so wild. Look at that.
And then you can see the other physical bodies. You can see the physicality in the photo.
Yeah, amazing. Just positioned right in the doorway, Wow.
Yeah. So that's good. And then thank you.
Yes, we'll remove that image then. And then
speaking of plasma, and we had started on the blue code bars before I caused this little bit of a shift. I believe they're also plasma.
Okay, so let's start just real basic. Well, that's probably not basic. Well, okay, just one quick thing is like, so we're talking about the layers. You've dropped like the etheric, like layer and templates, but we have our physicality body, right? So is that like the first level, and then we go up Like we have more levels to our being. And that's the realm we're kind of diving into right now.
Mm-hmm.
The energetic does create the physical.
Yeah, we talk about the physical, the etheric, the astral, the spiritual. Oh, I went too quickly, I guess, because it's physical, etheric, emotional. And then I saw Barbara Brennan put astral in, then the mental.
Okay.
Into the spiritual.
Wow. Okay, so just for reference, those are the kind of the levels of energy we're talking about, or the levels of the body. And then how does this, say, Willi's body, light body, connect to the blue bars? This is a new term. This is where, Rita Cumming, your revolutionary work is, I think is just such a contribution. It might be such a vast concept and, hard to grasp in a way, but you have experience with these. So
everything's experiential with me, and I read around my experiences to try to explain them to myself.
Yeah.
Okay, that's basically it. And Willi's body basically is the spiritual and the unseen.
Oh, mm-hmm.
That's basically where the gist is, and then the pursuit of knowledge. And it's just led from here to there to here to another place, and there's always new information coming in. This new book on the plasma adds another whole dimension, and it has already started to shift my own perceptions, because now I'm talking of Willi's body as a plasma body.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and what is the plasma? What is that plasma consciousness?
Well, apparently, and
neither of us are real scientists here.
No, but I see that it seems to be everything.
That
is
light, right? It's like
the bioplasmic. We go on.
Because you see these plasma TVs and stuff. What?
That's part of it.
Yeah.
When the TV's on, you have the plasma. This is what they've stated. When it's off, it's invisible.
Okay. Wow. Mm-hmm.
And it's a ball lightning. And there's other aspects that it's everything. It appears to be everything. Except for dark matter.
Okay.
Except for dark matter. I want to see if I made a note here. Plasma is what? Is matter that is made of incomplete or partial atoms, known as ions, and much smaller than particles as protons and electrons. I'm not a scientist, but I think it's worth touching base. It's a fundamental building block of atomic matter. A plasma is the first state of matter out of which other states of matter originated. Nature began with plasma. Sometimes it's called the fourth state of matter, after solids, liquids, and gases, but finer than even gases. It's called the fifth element, as in polarity. We talk of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. As for, or most part, it's invisible to the optic nerve.
I see. It reminds me a little bit of chi, the concept of chi, because it is invisible. It's visible and invisible, and they, chi in its, I don't know, most loose form, can condense into physicality form.
Yes.
Things.
I have an interesting quote here. I was thinking of you. Chinese philosophers, Taoism, never accepted dichotomy between matter and spirit.
Right. Yeah,
such a dichotomy is entirely a Western phenomenon. The Chinese have always gained the spirits were made of a very special rarefied kind of matter, like mist.
Yes,
You're
exactly.
better to articulate than I am
Yeah.
this area.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, because that is, the base of our medicine and how we diagnose and treat based on the state of the chi.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
it takes some like, it took me quite a few years to really grasp that concept and start to see it in my practice. So I can appreciate the total if it's the first time you're hearing it or you know, or you're not really well versed in it, that it's just a different concept, different way of presenting the information.
well, okay, yes, the
But
scene
then I
and
love when plasma comes into it, and then the side, where it's like a direct connection of like, oh, okay, if the Western world can give a name to it, well, then maybe there's the bridge is, continuously being supported.
well,
That
they also feel it's a bridge between the religions,
yes,
all of them,
yeah,
and explaining and bringing together science and religion. And
yeah,
obviously, it brings in the whole spirituality as well.
mhm,
That whole connection. But when talking about the invisible, the physically, the mist, I think I related this in a class one time when I was out for lunch with, fortunately, two other people, and they were chatting away, and so I was sitting sort of as the observer, and all of one sudden one of them said, "Rita, you're disappearing."
mhm.
And the other one, and this is why I think the second person was important, said, "I saw you fading away."
Wow.
So there's an example of a physical presence, and yet that same physicality was becoming invisible.
Wild. I've heard of this with some, yogis. I think it's like um I don't know, Yogananda or something speaks about the autobiography of a yogi. Have you read that book? And he talks about, I think this like the Golden Palace or something that one of his teachers, will come in from, pretty much nothing, and even trying to take a photograph of the physical body, like it wouldn't show.
Unless it was meant to.
And like, yeah, unless they're, yeah, exactly. Like
Unless,
Willie's light body.
and like the blue bars.
And the okay, and the blue bars, yes. So these are real. Yeah, whenever you're ready, we can show a little snippet of that
Like
because
the blue bars, I never saw. It was captured by a photo,
yeah,
and then when I saw it, it was wow. And I went to the First Nations people down there, the Blackfoot, to share with the people at the park.
yeah.
So yeah,
And what was there? What did they have to say about that?
well, they were fascinated. They were just like me, just fascinated. There's lots. The sacred area is blocked off, and they maintain. Montana is just south of the area, and the Sweetgrass Hills of Montana are there, and they maintain that the entities, there's earth entities that live in and travel between the Montana and the Alberta, and that they do come out at night, and it is not safe to be in that area. It's fenced off because they maintain that nobody would survive it.
Mm, yeah, fascinating. So yes, we're talking about the Writing on Stone Provincial Park in southern Alberta and how it extends into Montana. It's yeah. So I didn't realize that there are some places that are
The park itself doesn't go into Montana.
yeah, right. It'll
And
have a different it'll have a different name, sure. Um, yeah. There's quite a few sacred, sites like that that are, cautioned against being there, you know? And it's fascinating.
well, I had an experience the other night too. Uh, I had been tapping 2 years after the blue bars surfaced in September or June of 2007. If he wants to put the blue bars up, he can, by the way.
Yeah, sure. Let's just see.
Whenever you wish.
Give a little
And
reference point.
subsequent to that, I was camping with a friend, and the roadway lit. It was pitch black. And we'd been down to the washroom before going back to our campsite, and the whole roadway lit up. That would be plasma expressing itself. I realize that now. I can say that, and we could see it was black all around, and this whole roadway would have lit up. Back to our campsite, we just stood. We turned and looked, and behind all the hoodoos was all lit up. The whole back there, masses and masses of hoodoos, enormous, lit up. Well, okay, fine. It was an experience. We were comfortable with it. Obviously, we weren't jumping up and down with excitement. So someplace in our being, we had to be familiar with this concept. And the other night, all my work is inner work. I've traveled since 2007, and I work with the blue bars. I see the blue bars, the violet bars. I see all of this in the early morning hours. And the other night, I was back at that site, and the back of the hoodoos were lit up, and I realized I was on the road looking. And I realized I'm not to be in there when they express themselves in that way. And then I thought back to the sacred area into Montana, that again not to be in. And I realized that probably I really am not supposed to be there. It might not be safe for me for reasons that I can't express.
Right.
But just as the last time I said that there, Castanese talked about the known, the unknown, and the unknowable. And that in fact there's times that we should not go into areas because in fact there is a danger to be encountered.
In the unknowables.
In the unknowable.
Yeah.
We simply aren't to go there.
Juan, could you just please put up that the image of the blue bars? So this was an image taken by Rita and the Writing on Stone, Provincial Park.
And
photos of the petroglyphs and stuff you took from there too. We don't have those with us, but yeah. Okay, why don't you explain and share a little bit about this? So I do see some blue lines there at the bottom.
And I was amazed. And if you check, there seem to be like lines and dots.
Okay.
And this is beginning to show purple. This has become less, even the photograph has become less blue and more purple. And that happened in front of our faces when I took it down 2007 to show the Blackfoot. The whole area began to turn more violet, more purple in front of our faces on the computer. It's an interesting phenomenon. And recently I have seen these blue bars over this particular, I call it the blue bar rock face now, and I have seen them, the blue bars at the base and the purple bars where these current blue bars are. And in between there's a portal.
Yeah.
Which
that's why you're cautioned against going into that. If you see that happening, if the plasma expresses itself, it's like you could get swept away and recreated into something else. You know?
Yeah, well, everything happens internally. Okay, I mean, it's the early morning hours. It's my third eye in this aspect. It's very activated. I see absolutely clear, except when I'm not supposed to. And I was taken in through there, and I have met what I've called the dancing rings, and they were individuals who are captured within these locked rings, and they were this dancing position one can see with indigenous materials at times, and but the rings were alternating. And if you ever saw the TV show, was it Star? What was it called?
Yeah, the Stargate. I
Star,
know. I was
it's that same concept.
Yes. Wow.
And partway through, in 2009, I saw them released. I didn't see the releasing, but I saw them back in the other area with the big rock face where the lights were dancing on top of the area.
Mm.
And subsequently, I've seen other entities who I would say were from times of antiquity. They were released, and I've seen their energies lifting up. I've seen two aspects, both energy lifting, but also what would appear to be, I'm going to use the word plasmoid beings.
Nice.
But I don't understand why they'd have been locked in, and maybe they weren't locked in as plasmoid. I don't know. We get into this whole area where I can't articulate it, and I'm not sure somebody could. Because
it's like the latest science fiction novel movie needs to be made. I mean, or maybe it already has been, we're already seeing this.
And these entities rose, but after, because I was going back through the materials as preparing to talk with you on this, and I was given a glimpse of a massive celebration of people of that dancing, celebrating. It was as if people who were encapsulated were finally released. It was back to the time of antiquity, a long time before us, prehistoric. Shortly after that, there is more there, but after these events, the blue bars themselves floated off. I was seeing an overview of writing on stone, and the blue bars lifting and leaving. And I thought that the whole thing was over. But then, subsequently, over the years, I've been swept in the earth, in the water. I was pondering at the time of the Gulf oil spill in the States, about the fish, what was happening. And I was immediately swept into a portal, and they were going down deep, 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 deep into the waters. Is what I witnessed. And the next thing I witnessed was, and this was so strange to see and yet understandable because it was signaling. I saw benches and blackboards. We're back to school.
And back to school.
Yeah, and I'm preparing for the changes that are coming as Earth changes and climate change are happening. And I think in some ways, energetically or plasmically, we're all back to school.
Yeah, the school of life, absolutely. Well, we do need to, learn or be open to new information and integrate that into, the next level of, humanity or consciousness or whatever, where, we're constantly evolving.
Yes, and I have been taken through, and I've seen nuclear power plants, and I've seen warfare, current. I mean, we're talking, that started in 2007, and here we are, 2025, 2026. And I still receive imagery that then I have to try to process. And I have seen the war. I have seen, now that I realize, is plasma flowing in, bringing in. I've seen helixes, blue code bars, numbers, letters, various forms, and they're without color except maybe something will flash, and then I'll see blue bar, or I'll see violet bar, or I'll see something yellow, and it's like just giving me the information that there's more to it than I'm just seeing the overlay of materials flowing into Earth.
So what what do the blue bars mean to you?
For
What's
me,
important about them?
they're my guides. They're my teachers. They're my protectors. At one time, I was being pulled in an area, opened black area below blue bars. And there was a writhing entity laying on the ground outside, and all of a sudden, red code bars appeared, straddling it. And a red light slipped into the middle, and the entity settled and peace filled, and then they started to fill it. And so that was where the blue bars and the red bars were present together. And then when I went home, I was laying in bed and I awake. I believe I was actually awake, being pulled. I could feel my whole body being pulled, the inner part, my center being pulled out as if being sucked into something where I wasn't going. And the blue bars wrapped around me and pulled me back into alignment and safety. And for me, the blue bars they're my teachers, my guides, and my protectors. And I've also seen them pull my Oso puppy dog, my Chow Cross that I got in New Mexico in 1992. He passed at 19. And I have seen him being pulled into a snuggle in his elder years. And the day my phrase, I helped him to the other side of life, I was holding him as I do all my pets to the injection. I just hold him. And I felt his little one paw just flipped and he was gone. And then, so I was holding physicality. Within seconds, I was holding energy, I could feel it. And then I moved to pure joy. And so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is joyful to. I got a little pupper here. Say hi, Flora.
Oh, miniature poodle?
Yeah, well, she's. I think she's a poodle crossed with a Shih Tzu. She's so sweet.
Hello, you. I had miniature poodles for years because my
pure joy.
Because of my dad's allergies and emphysema, and he could have a poodle.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
A poop pup.
Yeah, they're not really shedding. They're hypoallergenic, right?
That's why we got him, and then I had him for years after my dad passed.
Oh, yeah. Well, are we done with this? Okay. Well, this is an amazing image. Should we just clear it out here, or is it good? Is it helpful? Yeah.
Oh, it's fine. Whatever.
And so, but then you mentioned the red bars. Like, do you think that these are opposite forces? Are we getting into that now?
No. Never thought they were opposite forces. I thought red bars were prehistoric.
Okay.
Were largely current. And now that I've seen one time again seeing this is seen flowing into modern space, the blue bars and the red bars together.
Okay. And have you always seen color like this? Like, because there are some people that can see sounds, or they get a lot of information as colors. I'll be working on people too, and they'll say, "Oh wow, I see this most amazing yellow light or purple light."
I have that happen with many people, with any people getting more variety of things people get. Yes. But I think also all of this goes back to plasma. It's everything. It is what comes, I'm going to call it, it's the intermediary between, I'm going to say, the divine, and that will be my term, something, because even the material talks about there's something beyond the plasma.
Right.
on a more spiritual level. And the plasmas, I believe, carrying material from there in, where, and it is the mechanism that we are receiving, and we are part of it. Our core,
Right.
all of it. And so when we leave, we also go back to plasma.
All right, Rita, we're in our last 5 minutes of the show. Can you believe that?
We can't be.
I know. I know. So, I know it's not fair. Okay, so I want to hear some of your final ideas and thoughts around it, and also what is important for us to know. Like, what difference does it make in our healing journey?
I think just knowing that they're much bigger than we think we are, a part of something much bigger. We're loved. We're constantly receiving stuff, to trust, to have faith in whatever experience we're going on through, to ground, to center, to elevate, to stay in the core of our beings.
And the mystery of it all. It's like, yeah, there's something a little bit hopeful about that there's something beyond this, that
we're secure.
to learn from.
Something else just struck me to say. There is, and it's to be very careful, it's back to that. There are dark plasmas as well, which can impact. And thus, don't get into the unknown, and also to use protections, to call in protections. Use the right guides, use the right sources, cut out of our energy work so we're not picking up. There's but I want to come back. You said about the red and blue in conflict. No, they're not. The blue bars have taken me in, and the red light has floated in, and they work together.
Oh yes, and then to make the violet or something, or some,
from that, a purple code bars are coming out. I have seen them on more than one, a couple of occasions.
Yes.
So I think we're moving towards that. But it's important, the red and blue are not in conflict, and there are dark plasmas, and they do impact people. There are people who are being impacted by dark plasmas and not the light plasmas that we are riding on and that we're counting on. But I think just know we're fundamental if we trust. And if we are crossing over, we're fine. We're fine. I was happy. We were happy when my mom passed. My brother walked in and said, "Is she still there?" I said, "No, the group's took flight." He said, "Oh, good, Mom, I'm proud of you."
Oh.
We're fine. I knew that when my grandfather died. Now it's grade 5. I couldn't understand why people were crying. He was fine.
Yes.
He came back. Spoke to my mom. She couldn't turn over. She heard him. Celestial music. He said, "Louie, I'm fine. I'm good." Music, couldn't look at him because he possibly wasn't even visible. Music came. She was allowed to turn over. We're in good hands.
Yes. Fascinating. I just love how it adds an extra element of, like, I don't know, it's kind of fun, I believe. This stuff a bit juices me up, through life, because there's so much more to explore.
It's fast.
Life is good, and it can be, even more fascinating. The fascination never ends.
It never ends. And like here, I'm talking to you. I have shifted position on understanding since we last talked.
Right.
Through reading something new. Dr. Stone, founder of polarity therapy, would have been into this up to his eyebrows digging in.
Yeah.
We can't have everything solidly. It's not solid.
Right. Staying open and curious is a critical key to life.
But also be cautious.
And cautious, yes. Yes,
Oh,
kind of maybe
oh,
like
really.
that. The story that you shared of being like, you felt in the core being kind of tugged away, and then the blue bars to you just scooped you back in.
They did. They literally pulled me back into alignment. And I
Yeah.
think we have to be grounded. We have to stay centered
Mm.
and also come to, and that I was glad Ursula added. And
Any last minute tips on how to stay grounded and centered?
for me, it's feel your feet.
Yeah, feel your feet.
Just feel your feet. And I often, lately, I've just going, something's coming up. No, and my feet will hit the ground.
Mm.
Or feet. If I say feet, I find I activate the third eye. I'm aware of it. It isn't seeing a lot of stuff here, but I'm aware. It
Yeah, and from the feet to the third eye, that forms a
seems to be a connection. I'm not consciously going to the third eye.
Right.
When it hits, I'm
Yeah.
then back into the core of my being, and also, and the heart will start activating too. I just had somebody in a Tibetan bowl player, a good friend of mine. He's had it over at their place. He's about 20 bowls. He's been doing it for years. My whole area through basically high heart area up through the third eye all started more clearing and more releasing. And this goes on constantly. This isn't something that, we do it and it's done.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're constantly working, evolving, playing with life, having fun.
And we get information in stages. Here's all the blue bar materials, not even all of them.
Yes. Oh, wow. Wonderful.
And it keeps coming, and more will come. And I've decided this is my new focus. That
Yes.
I'm cutting back on other things. I am to focus on this area more.
Oh, wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that. And I'm thrilled that you've come here to share it and, just get that momentum starting, because you have, obviously a whole documented book of your experience. And
thank you for giving me the impetus. You brought me back.
Absolutely. That's what this show is about. You know what I wanted to do this, share these ideas.
And we have fun.
Yeah, and fun. All right, Rita, sadly, we've got to go for now.
Life is good.
Life is good. Yes. All right. Well, on that note, everybody, thanks for tuning in and listening again. We'll see you next Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern time on The Language of Healing. Thanks again, Rita. If you want to reach out to her.
Of course, we'll talk.
We'll talk. And
that's with the territory.
All right. Okay.
Thanks
much
so much.
love. Yes. Okay. Bye, everybody. See you next time.
Wow, what a show today. And the journey does not stop here. Come travel the world with Nicole every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time as together we become more fluent in the language of healing on W4WN Radio and Talk4 TV. See you next week.